Okay, so good afternoon and welcome to our fourth session. Today we're looking at database management. I want to know before I begin, I'm particularly concerned about Desma. I think Desma was the one that was not familiar with IT or did not have any experience in IT. So I wanted to know from Desma her experience with database. But let me ask those who are here. Do you use database? Have you done anything on database management? Have you used Microsoft Access before? Just indicate in the chat yes or no. Are you all hearing me? Okay. Can you talk, Sharian? So I know that.
Hi, you can hear me clearly?
Yes, I'm hearing you. Beautiful. All right. So I know you should be fine with Microsoft Access. It's something that you see. But I want to know about Nardia and Sashana. Tariq. Oh, I'm seeing Tariq.
Yeah.
Good evening, how you doing?
Good evening.
Repeat that. How are you with Access?
Well, I did Access some years ago. About 2 years now I haven't looked at it in depth, but I've been introduced to it. So I just need to refresh my memory as to how to manipulate Microsoft Access.
Okay.
Now,
All right. So you're glad for a little refresher then.
indeed.
Okay, no problem. Tariq, what about you?
I'm sorry, I missed the question, sorry.
Question was, how familiar are you with Microsoft Access?
I used to do it, I used to play with it back in the day. This is databases, right?
Yes.
Right, I remember I used to be, decent, but that's some years ago.
Okay, so you are getting another refresh. You are getting a refresher as well.
Absolutely.
All right. And Tashana, are you there?
Yes, I am.
And what about you?
Yeah, I'm familiar with Access. It's not something I use regularly, but I have an idea what to do.
Okay. All right. Beautiful. All right. I'm going to hope that Desma is able to join us. Sharian, any updates on?
I actually just messaged her a while ago because she said she would make it, especially since the class was pushed back a little bit. So I'm actually just waiting on a response from her.
Okay. All right. So I know she'll join us before we end. All right. So for the two sessions that we have, this one and the last session, today I'm looking at database management, with specifically looking at Microsoft Access. Remember, this is tailored toward what they do for the CTEC syllabus. So we're looking at Access, and then we're going to look at Excel in the last session. So once we're finished, remember this is a refresher, and once we're done, there will be links to tutorials, and there will be an activity that you need to complete, and this will be a graded activity. And then you'll get, the last class will be similar to this, and you'll get an activity in Excel, which will also be graded. And those two combined will give you your 15%. Okay? I'm going to assume that you started the SDA assignment, but we will talk about that towards the end of the session. All right, so just a refresher, a database is an organized collection of data, right? So and whatever data is within the database must be linked in some way. So if we have several different objects within a database, and tables form the basis of the database. So nothing else, none of the other objects can be created unless you have your table. Now the basic unit of data or data item is a field. A single data item is a field, and based on that, you will have several records of data, and based on that, you create a table. Now, a field can be of several data types, which is similar to what we looked at in Pascal. I'm sorry, I don't have a presentation for you to follow. So the field is of several, can be of different data types, just as in Pascal. So we have our text, which would be our string in Pascal, if you want to relate to it that way. So that will deal with words and also numbers. You have your number data type, you have your integer, and you have your real. So your integer would be your whole number, and your real would be your numbers with decimal points. You also have your Boolean type, which is your yes or no. And you have what you call a lookup wizard option, which gives you a drop-down menu for if you have several options. For example, if you have a data item or field called parish, you have several parishes, you can use that lookup wizard to create a little list of all the parishes, because it's a finite list. You have an exact number of parishes, so they can choose from the list that you create. Okay? Tell me if you're following, tell me if you're not following. All right, so I'm going to assume, don't like to assume, but I'm going to assume that means yes, you're good. All right, so what I'm going to do, does everybody have access?
Yeah.
Yes, okay. All right, you can type in the chat. You can say yes or no. Tashana, you do? You have access on your computer?
Yes, I do.
Okay, beautiful. Anybody does not have access? Maybe that's a better question to ask.
I don't have access. I just had a look just now.
Oh, you don't have it? Okay. All right. Maybe you can get, I think you should be able to get at least a trial version to work with. Okay.
I do have it. I have Microsoft Access 2010.
Oh, you do have it? Okay, okay, okay. All right, lovely. All right, so I am going to share all right, so here we have a blank database. And what we're going to do, we're going to create a little table. We actually have one created already, if you notice. Once you go into the more recent versions of Microsoft Access and you name it, you have to name it first and save the database. It is blank, but it opens with a table to work with. So the table doesn't have any data items, doesn't have any fields, it doesn't have anything in it. So it opens a table, you have to format it, right? So we're going to create a table. Let's say we want to hold the data on persons in this class. So we want the student's first name, last name, we want country, we are going to put age, And let's put profession. Okay. All right. So this, what we're looking at here, I'm using the cursor, hopefully you can see. This is what we call data sheet view. This is like the front end view of the table. What we're going to do now, we're going to look at the design view of the table. Okay? So we click here where it says view in the top left hand, and we select design view. Remember, if you're not following, send me a message. I should see it light up somewhere. Okay? If you're not following, I'm going to check. You can WhatsApp me.
Professor?
Yes, sir.
Hello? I just want to make sure I don't fall too far behind. You said first name, last name, what?
First name, last name, country, age, and profession.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. So because we have the table open here, what you find is that it's asking you to name the table first before you make any changes to it. So we're going to just name this table student. We're going to name this table student and click OK. All right, so now we're in the design view. So this is like the production team behind the screen. This is where we are. So we are in design view, and we're going to modify the table to hold the field that we have just identified, right? All right, now your ID, if you notice you see ID here, it automatically comes with it once you create a table. It's a default data item. And ID here has data type auto number, which means that for each record entered in each line of data, it will generate the numbers in consecutive order 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on and so forth, right? At the very left, you'll see a key, which is the primary key. And your primary key is assigned to any field which can be a unique identifier. I'm getting a message, 1 second. I'm trying to access the message here. Okay. All right. Thank you, Cheryl. Okay. All right. So the primary key is you have to assign it to anything that you know no two records will have. So you cannot assign a primary key to a last name, especially like Brown or Johnson or Smith. You find a lot of persons with that last name. Neither first names, no matter how unique they are, you might find two persons. So it's best to create an ID, just as how you get an ID number when you are started off with UWI or any workplace, you get an ID number. It's best to create an ID number, which is why author number, this ID is data type author number. So no, it will never be duplicated. So even if you delete one of the records, that number will not be assigned to anybody else, right? All right. So what we're going to do, we're going to keep ID, but we are going to change this author number. We're going to change author number, and we're going to put short text. We're going to put short text. And beside here, in description, I'm going to put a little blurb. So it starts with, and we're going to put 62001. Something like let me change that. That's A201. one. Let's do that. Okay. So the first person in this table will be automatically A2011 ID number. Just a random number, right? So short text can accept data type, letters and numbers. Short text can accept letters and numbers in the field. Okay? Look towards the bottom, see where the cursor is the field size. And it says 255, which indicates that it can accept up to 255 characters. And we really don't need that since we are going with this format A2011. We only need about 5. Each of the letter or number is a character, so we don't need more than 5 characters, right? So I'm going to change that. Change the field size to 5, and you can leave everything else. So just change. So you put your field name, put the data type. If you want to put a description, because it says optional, you can. And you change your field size. Okay? All right. So let's continue. All right. So the next one, we said first name. I type it with no space. I find that when you put spaces in the name, sometimes they use underscore, but I find that sometimes when you put spaces in the name, you have difficulties, especially when you're doing queries later on, right? When you start to search and so on. So I normally, for any sort of, to avoid any issues, I put a name with no spaces for the field name. So first name, short text, and how much space do you think we need for our first name?
12.
About
spaces.
12?
Yeah.
Sure.
15.
Okay, I'm gonna put 15, yes. Put 15. Right? So we go here now, last name. Short text again. How long do you think we need for last name?
20.
How many characters? 20?
20.
20?
Yeah.
You think we need longer than that, Sharon? What if I don't know what if you're married and you have a hyphenated name, I don't know.
Probably say about 50 just to be on the safe side.
Absolutely,
Wow.
yeah.
All right. We could work with 50. I don't know if we'll have any names long like that, but we'll work with 50. Maybe about somewhere between 20 and 50 would be good, but that's fine. All right. The next field we had was country. And this time I want to try something else. Remember where we said look up wizard? See. All right, so I selected look up wizard for the data type for country. Is everybody seeing this? Are you following or seeing this?
Yeah, I see it, yeah.
Okay. All right, now it takes you through, just like any wizard, it takes you through a series of steps, okay? And based on what you choose, it takes you to the next step. So what we're going to do, we're just going to put a list, and we're going to limit it to the countries that we belong to, okay? So we'll only put Bermuda, St. Lucia, Jamaica. Do we have any other country in this group? No, only 3? Okay, so we'll limit the list to those 3 countries, okay? All right, so it says I want the lookup field to get the value from another table, and The second option says, I will type in the values that I want. So we're going to select that option. You're not going to see it now, but when we go back to data sheet view, which is the front end view of the table, you will see it. So we select the second option and we click next. All right, once we click next, you should be seeing this. And at the top, you see number of columns. We're going to keep it at 1. It means that when the drop-down menu, when they click on it and drop the menu falls down, it's going to be 1 column, right? So we will keep it as that. And what we're going to do, we're going to type the name of the country, one below the other. Okay? So let's start with Bermuda. And then we go to St. Lucia. And we go to Jamaica. Not quite alphabetical order, but we can work with that. All right? All right, so we go next. What label would you like for your lookup field? Country? Do you want to limit the entries to the choices? Yes, limit to the list. Do you want to allow multiple values? No, so you don't check. So you're going to limit it. They can only choose from the list, right? Of course, this is just for our activity. So you know that if it's depending on what possible options, then you have to enter all options or you have to allow them to enter, right? If it's not there. All right, and we click finish. All right, so as I said, you're not seeing it now, but when we go to the front end view of the table, you will see it. All right, so we go here and we go to age. This time it's a different data type and we're going to go to number. Long integer, short integer, byte. Let's do integer. It's not a big number, so we'll just work with integer, right? And the last one says profession. And we use short text and say about 25 characters. All right, everybody's following? Good, okay. Remember, if anybody in here having an issue, you can always send me a message on WhatsApp or in the chat. All right, so once we've done those, we have our fields, we had our primary key assigned already. We're going to change view, so we go back to view over here. And we're going to select data sheet view. It is going to ask you to save the table first and you say yes. And this is our table. And we are now going to populate our table, so we're going to enter some data in our table. Okay? All right, so what I like to do, I'm going to enter my data first, and then I'm going to ask everybody to just, so that we can go around and we can participate. So ID number, remember we're starting with 82011, and this is Camille. Very. And here now, when we get to country, we have the list, and you choose. And here now, age. I'm trying to remember. I'm going to put the closest number possible. All right. And then profession. Okay. All right. So since Sharon is snacking, we're going to go to Tariq. Sharon doesn't mind me picking on her, right? All right. So Tariq, go ahead and give it. So we put A2012 for an ID number. You can't duplicate ID numbers. That's the primary key. And we put Tariq here. It's Ron.
Sumner, SOMNER.
Sorry, is it S?
OMMNER.
Okay, all right, sorry. Age.
35.
Okay. Oh. What's the age I'm giving you? Sorry. And profession.
Para-educator.
Here.
Para-educator.
Sorry, go again.
Para-professional. Para. P-A-R-A.
Okay,
R-A.
Professional. Okay. All right, who is going next? Should I ask, you want to go, Sharon, or should I ask somebody else?
You can ask Desma. She's at class.
Oh, Desma is here. Desma.
Yeah, I sent you a message telling you I'm there.
Okay, my bad. I'm trying to multitask here. All right, so welcome.
Hi.
I hope you joined in when we were creating the table or modifying the table.
That's the thing I did. I joined after when you were on last name,
Okay.
but I'll get it. I hope.
All right, you will. All right. So are you familiar with Access?
Not really. No.
Really? All right. I know Sherian and Ronald.
Yes. So I will pull our lines later.
Okay.
Oh, I could go through it on my own, going on Google and stuff.
All right, but at least they're there for support, and I'm here also.
All right.
Okay, so I'm going to take your data, 2013, Desma, and
This
last
one long, because the other one is very strange.
is very strange.
It's hard to pronounce.
Okay, that is something I never quite understood. Your married name is J.N. Pierre.
Yes, Jean-Pierre.
Pierre,
Jean-Pierre, yes.
but it doesn't have N, it's just J.N.
Yes, it's just J-N and space.
Okay, interesting.
I know.
All right, and we select your country
Yeah.
and age.
24. That sounds better. I'm not 24, but I look 24.
Well, I am not asking for ID, so I'll work with whatever you say.
Teacher.
Teacher. All right. All right. So who will go?
Okay.
Who am I hearing? Is it Nardia or Sashana? Who's going next?
I'll go, Sashana.
Okay, go ahead, Sashana. Are you following Sashana?
Yes, I am. It's 2 N's.
Okay, my bad. All right. Remember the last name?
Right?
Honeyford. Right? That's how it's spelled?
Yes.
All right. And age?
Forever 21.
All right. And profession?
Human Resources Assistant.
Okay, human resources. Let's see how many characters this is. All right, so it holds. All right, thank you. Who will go next?
Nadia.
All right, Nardia. Nardia.
Give me a hand.
And last name William. Okay. And select your country. Okay. And
Put 30.
put 30. I like how you put that. And profession,
Data analyst.
data analyst. Okay. And one more.
Yeah. Sharian, that's SHE. Yes.
Uh-huh.
Jada, GAJADHAR.
Okay. All right. And select your country.
Tim. Oh my gosh. 31.
Okay.
I'm
And
a teacher.
okay, beautiful. All right. So this is a simple table. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fields. And we also have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 records. Okay? So this gives you an idea of what I'm talking about. So we have going across what you would call headings, or each column here is represented. These are fields. And going across, well, I should say going down at the side, each of those that run across, starting with 8201 something, each of those are records. Okay? All right. So this is one table with 6 records in it. All right. If we want to add another field, we just go back to design view and we add another field. Okay? So I'm going to leave this as is. And I'm going to create another table. I'm going to create another table, and we go to create. I hope you can see it. We go to create. So you can see us working Desma. Yes.
Yes, yes.
Right. So we are going to create another table. So we go to create and we select table. Create and we select table. And it comes up the same way that we saw the first one. Okay? And what we do again, we go to design view. We have to save this table. Now we're going to put details. So we call it student details. So it's just additional information about the student, right? So we put student details. And we click OK. All right, so we have ID again. And we have author number. We're going to change this. We're going to put the same ID, short text. And you will see why I'm changing the ID to make sure that we have the same ID, right? All right, so we're going to put some additional data inside here. So we're going to put gender. I have to be very careful now. These are some politically correct terms these days. But I'm going to work with gender. And the only 2 genders I'm familiar with are male and female, right? So it's either male or female for that.
Not in this world.
In my world, you're born one of 2.
That's right.
Right, so it's male or female, right? I hope I'm not offending anyone. Okay. All right, so what other data can we put here? You can give me 2 other fields. You see that?
You said you want additional information, maybe an address.
Okay, so we address, lovely.
And contact number or something.
Okay, contact number. All right, and I'm going to put just because I want to use the yes or no, I'm going to put employed. That's the only thing. I'm going to put employed, and I will show you the yes or no. Okay. All right. So
Barry?
they just want to put the field called employed. I could use any other field.
Barry? Excuse me 1 second. Are you typing in anything? Because it's showing a blank screen.
Right. No, I'm not typing in anything.
Okay. All right. Cool.
I'm just writing.
All right. Cool.
Oh, so you're not putting in the gender anymore?
Yes, I'm putting it.
Okay.
Right. All right. So we're putting first one here, gender, and short text, and we put M or F. We really just want the shorthand version. So with that case, it can only take, we'll put 1. Now when you limit it like this, they can't type in anything more than 1 character. And it has to be, in this case, with the M or F, right? All right, so we put address. And address, let's put long text. All right, so you notice long text doesn't give you any number of characters. And contact number. I put contact num. And in number, let me just. Don't you have it? All right, I'll leave that. All right, for contact number, I'll put short text. And for employed, we're going to use yes/2. Okay. All right. So we've added 4 more fields in this second table. Okay. And now we're going to populate this table. So we are changing from design view to data sheet. Following, Desmond? Yeah, thumbs up. Follow? Okay.
Sorry, yes.
Are you hearing me, Desmond?
Yes, I thought the mic was on and I answered. Not realizing.
Okay. All right, so we go to data sheet view, and of course it asks you to save the table, and we say yes. All right, so we A2011. I remember that's me, and that's F. Address 30 Rose Garden Road, Kingston, 50. Okay. Contact number 876-851-3251. Employed, and you check yes or no. Right? All right, now I'm trying to remember who. I don't have to scratch. Just look here. 2012, that's Tariq. All right. Sorry, I wasn't deliberating, sorry.
I saw the long pause, so it's all right.
Apologize, I wasn't deliberating there. I just got distracted. All right, so the address, just give me anything.
12 Patience Lane.
Patience Lane. Mhm. And community.
Sandy's.
Saint what?
Sandy's. Sandys.
Okay. SAN.
DYS.
DYS.
DYS. Yeah,
Oh,
that's
okay,
good.
okay. Sandy's. Okay. All right. And this is
441
1
533 1678.
1678. All right.
Employed, yes.
Most definitely. We all want to keep it that way. 82013. This is Desma. Okay. Give me an address, Desma.
I'm gonna just spell it. BALATA. Comma.
Go again? Borough?
Comma. It's done. That's the name. You put a comma.
Okay, comma.
Then Castries. Yes.
Okay. And your
58
758
518
5 what?
518
Uh-huh.
6262.
6262.
Yeah.
Employed. Okay. And A2014. I believe this was Sashana. Okay. Go ahead.
31.
Go again.
31.
30. Go again.
31 Blue
Okay.
Castle Drive.
Blue Castle Drive.
Kingstown 7.
Kingston 7. And this is a 876.
874
Mhm.
3970.
All right. Thank you. Employed. 82015. That would have been Nadia.
Yeah. 12 Rochdale.
Go again.
12
12
ROCH.
DALE.
Yes, Crescent.
Okay.
Kingston 5.
Kingston
5.
5. Okay. Uh-huh.
396
396
4181.
4181. And 21. All right.
I'm a female.
Okay.
11 Corinth.
Spell that please.
CORINTHE Avenue. Grosley. Well, GROS.
Okay, Grossly.
Yeah.
All right.
8 487
Mhm.
8885.
8885.
Yep.
All right. All right. So we're just experimenting with different data types. And we created 2 tables. All right. Now, what I've done is I made sure that the data, if you notice, both tables have the same number of records with the same primary key, which is the ID. What we're going to do next is what we call creating a relationship with the table. Okay? So we're going to link the 2 tables So what I'm going to do here, we go to database tools, we go to relationship, and there are different types of relationships, right? I'm not going to try and relate this to real world and talk about the different one-to-many and the many-to-one and the one-to-one in the real world, right? But we're just going to look at it here. There is one-to-one, which is the kind of relationship we're going to create here, which means that for every record in one table, it matches to only one record in the next table. Follow? So there's no two records. It's only one record will match to one record in the other table. So this is a one-to-one. So what we do, this comes up right here, and we're going to, it's already, students is already highlighted. That's the first table. We click add, and so we're going to select the one that says student details, and we click add, and then we close here. All right. Now all we do, I'm going to click and drag from one ID to the next ID, and this appears. Okay. Click and drag from one ID to the next. So it shows you you're creating a relationship between ID in students and ID in students table. And I'm going to check here, enforce referential integrity. Okay? And it shows at the bottom, it says one-to-one. And I explained what one-to-one means, right? And we're going to click create. Now, why we need to, all right, I should have closed the tables. Sorry, let me close these tables. Yes. All right, so I'm going to do that again. Click, hold down, and drag it straight across to the other. And I'm going to select enforce referential integrity, and I'm going to click create. And so you'll see one and one on the other side, on either side. All right, so why did I select enforce referential integrity? We want to make sure that if there are changes in one table that is reflected in the next table, that there are no duplicates, that if somebody accidentally deletes something, that things still align. So they don't accidentally delete or change the ID number in one and it doesn't match to the other. Then an error will be given. So this is why we have to enforce referential integrity. Okay? All right, so now we have a relationship and we can close it. And that's all. What happens is you can, as we go on to queries, you'll be able to see how we can work with both tables, right? All right, so we're going to close, save it, and close it. All right, so on your left-hand side, as I said, there are several objects that you can create in Access. The first one is your tables. Okay? The next one we're going to look at is a form. And a form, just like any other form, you complete a form because it's used to collect data. What a form does, it allows you to enter data into a table. That's pretty much what a form does. It allows you to enter data into a table. So a form can only be created once there is a table. So we go to create, and we go to form wizard. And again, the wizard will take you through a series of steps for you to complete the task you want, right? So we go through which table do we want to create the form for? and we can select anyone. Students, so we can create one for students and one for student details. Why would we need a form if we already have these tables and we can go in and enter the data? Well, in database management, access is given, different levels of access will be given to different persons. So for example, the database manager or the data analyst, those persons will have access to everything. But the data entry clerk will only have access to enter data. They won't be able to go and make any changes to the data, to the table structure or anything like that, right? So they are allowed to enter data. So they would get something that looks like a form. So the data will go into the table. What they have access to is the form. Okay? All right. So I'm just going to add everything here. So I use the double arrow. And then I go next. These are all the fields I want. And this is the layout. This is how the form will look. If you don't want that way, you have the tabular. The items in the orange, those are the field titles or the field names. So if you want it like that, with the field names on the left, you can have it like that, or data sheet justified. I will work with column now. It really doesn't matter. They all do the same thing. But I prefer this format. So I go next, and then it asks you what title do you want for your form. I'll put student form. And then it asks you to modify the form design. No, we don't want to go design view. We just want to open the form to do our enter information, and we click finish. All right, so here we go. This is the form. So this is what you see. If you enter data here, it will go into the table. Now, I'm not going to enter any data into the table for reason being, we've already created a relationship, and we can't have one table with 7 items and other with only 6. We're going to have issues. So what I'll do, I'll leave that as is, and this is just a demonstration of creating the form, right? But you can go ahead, you can edit the relationship, you can remove the relationship, you can go ahead and, right? But I'm not going to spend too much time on form. Form is very simple. You wouldn't get to do much on form more than create one, right? All right, so, and it shows at the bottom, it shows all the records. You can go to next record, so it shows all the records that are there, and it shows it in singular format, so it shows one by one. All right. I'm not getting any objections, so it means that I'm good to proceed. Lovely. All right, so we're going to go on to another tool, and I point out that on the left, you notice, I see Sherry-Ann raising her hand. No?
I'm okay.
Okay. I know you're fine. All right, so on the left-hand side, you notice another section appears, form. So we have 2 tables and 1 form. All right, so we're going to go now back to create, and we're going to create another object called a query. Now the query, what it does, it searches the database, or rather the tables, searches among the data, and it picks out specific data that you require based on the criteria that you have put out. Based on criteria that you have put out. Okay? So if you have, let's say, for example, you have a school database, you have over 1,000 records because you have records on students and you want all the students who pick a particular criterion or criteria, and it will go through and it will search and it will retrieve those and present those. And that's pretty much what a query does. Okay? We're going to demonstrate that. So we go to query design. Now, if you notice, when you go to create, at the bottom, each has you have a section for tables, queries, forms, reports, right? We focus on those 4. And it gives you different ways in which you can create them. I'm selecting one that I think will work well or easily. Okay? I'm trying to select the one that I think is probably the simplest or simpler based on options, the other options. All right, so I'm closing this form, and I'm going to, in the section that says queries, I'm going to choose query design. You notice their queries only has 2 options. So we're going to choose query design. All right, I'm going to pause here. I'm not seeing any faces. I don't know, maybe. Let me not say that. I know that Tariq is not on. Yes, I'm seeing Tariq and then sorry. I am. All right. So I just want to know that everybody's following. Okay, good.
Following.
Okay, great. All right, so now we're here. We're going to create a query. And this little table comes up again. And we're going to add both tables. Okay? So we have students, we click add. And we have student details. Let's say a table, we add a table twice. So let's say we had clicked and first we had added student details more than once. Once you right click on it, you can remove the table. If you don't remove it, you're going to have duplicates when you run your query. Okay? So we have 2 tables. What kind of information do we want? All right, let's start with something very simple. Let's select all the males within this database. Now we already know the answer to that. We already know the answer to that, but let us put it into practice, right? So let's say we have student ID. That's from the student table. So down here, you select the field that you want. And in the box, okay, let me just pause a little. At the top, it says field. In the second row, it says table. So whichever field you select, it shows the table that it belongs to. So you select the field and it automatically shows the table. Sort, here is where you decide if you want to sort the query in ascending order or descending based on that particular field. Okay? All right. And then criteria, this is where you put what it is you're using to do the search. And you place it under the specific field name. Okay? All right. So we say we want all the males. So we want the first name, the last name, and the gender. Let's work with that. So we have ID, we have first name, belongs to student table, we have last name from student table, but gender is from student details, okay? So we selected the fields we want, but what is the criteria? So under gender, where it says criteria, we're gonna put what we need to pull out the records we want. And what is it we're going to put there? Let me see if somebody can help me. Not Cherry Ann.
M.
M, beautiful. Because we only put M or M, right? Some of these things will appear, but we don't want. We just put M. Just M, nothing else. You don't have to put quotations. It automatically picks that up for you. So we put M. And at the top, you can click run. And voila, we have one male. Okay, all right, I like that. All right, so we have one male, and if you are asked to do several queries, I would advise you to save this query. So we right click and save. So we're going to say mail. Okay, mail. In the group. Okay, so we save that. And once you save it, you'll notice on the left hand side, queries is added. Okay? All right. So let's run another one. We want all the persons from St. Lucia. We want all the persons who are from St. Lucia. All right, so I'm going to ask Desma to help me with this one. Tell me, Desma, where do we go?
We're going to create
Create,
query design.
query design.
We're going to click both, quick students, add, student details, add. But let me ask you, if we already know where it is. For example, I know that, what are we looking for again?
Those from St. Lucia.
Since we know that the country is in students, can we just only click students? No? Since it's a relationship?
It depends on the fields you want.
Yes, I'm saying since we only want country, we have to click both student and student details. Well, there's a relationship.
Okay, well, if you're going to do a query, you wouldn't just put country. You have to put other fields.
Oh, that's true. The name.
Right,
And
so you need the first
okay.
Right.
Okay.
But in this case, first name, last name, and country are all in the same table. So you can work with one table, or you can work with both. It's up to you.
Yeah. Okay. I thought since they had a relationship, we'd have to put both.
Yeah.
Okay. And the field.
Unless the question specifies, it's up to you.
Okay.
You have to put right. But I think it's best to include like first name and last name, because if you're going to run, let's say somebody's asking information, you want to present something that makes sense to them. So you want to put the first name and the last name so that they will know at least.
Right.
The ID number. So these are the persons from St. Lucia, right? All right. Go ahead now. Which fields do you want?
ID.
ID.
First name.
First name.
From students. Last name from students. And the country.
And country. All right. Okay.
Criteria. Would be St. Lucia.
St. Lucia, but all right, here we go now. You have to, in a case like this, when you're typing up something, you have to remember exactly how you type it. Because if I had typed St. Lucia with a common L, and I typed St. Lucia here with a capital L, it wouldn't return anything. The query will turn up empty, right? But you're fine. That's correct. What you did is correct. All right. So we're going to. Good job. I'm going to put one other thing. We're going to sort it by last name. So under last name, we put ascending order, right? And then we run this query. Okay. All right. So this is what the query looks like, and we want to save this. So we right click, save. All right. And St. Lucia student. Or it's supposed to be St. Lucian. Okay, St. Lucia student. All right, we click OK. All right, so I'm going to, all right, I think this full stop here is giving a problem. All right, so I'm going to leave that there. Okay. All right, so I'm going to put in the chat. You're going to work it out. I don't know if you have a table to work with, but I'm going to give you 2 queries to do, and I'm going to give you 5 minutes. The first one is, we want all those who are younger than 30. Younger than 30. And then we want all the females who are from Jamaica. So that's 2. All those younger than 30 and all the females from Jamaica. So I'm going to type it here. All right, so I'm going to type here. First one, all those younger than 30, and 2, all females from Jamaica. Sorted by last name. Okay. All right, I'm going to give you 5 minutes.
Since we're doing this on our access, I mean, we have to include all the information from the tables and the forms.
Well, if I will make this table available afterwards. You just need to figure it out, and then you can tell me how it's done.
Okay.
All right. Excuse me for. Give me 5 minutes. All right. So I will check back with you at about 20 past. I'm assuming we're on the same time. right, so I know that was more than 5 minutes. My apologies. All right, so I'm going to go to Nardia. All right, could you guide me in creating the first query?
Okay. You go to create,
Yes,
query, design,
yes.
and you select students, and I think you only need one table.
Only students?
You can select both.
Okay. Yes.
For the field, you put ID, select ID.
All right, so we have ID here.
First name, last name,
Uh-huh.
age,
That's it.
right. For the criteria on the age, you're going to put the greater than sign, less than sign,
Less than
30.
30. Okay,
That should be it.
and that's it?
Yes, for the first question.
Okay. All right, so let's run that. Okay, beautiful. So we have 2 persons.
That's actually what I was thinking. Yay!
You repeat that?
I said that's what I was actually thinking to do.
Okay, lovely. So you are correct. Both of you are. All right. So we'll save that and we'll say younger than 30. All right. So you always give them appropriate names. So we have 3 queries so far. All right. The second one, I am going to ask Tashana.
All right. Ready?
Yes.
All right. So create per design. Add both students and student details.
Okay.
We're gonna select ID number from students.
Yeah.
First name. Last name. We're gonna sort by ascending order.
Okay. So on the last name we have
Sorting by ascending.
ascending. Okay.
Then gender from student detail.
Uh-huh.
Criteria F.
Okay.
And then country.
Okay. So
Student table.
uh-huh.
And criteria Jamaica.
Okay. All right. Is that it?
Yes.
All right. So we run this. All right. And we have 3 females. All right. Thank you very much.
Can I ask a question?
Welcome.
Yes, go ahead.
I was wondering, well, what I was gonna do, since you asked for all females from Jamaica sorted by last name, I did not include the first name.
Oh, you didn't include the first name. Okay.
Since it's specified by last name, I just didn't include the first.
Okay. All right. As I said, you want to make sure that when you create the query that it makes sense. So that you want to include the first name and the last name. If I put a last name alone, then I I look at that, it wouldn't mean much to me. But I can see the full name of the persons who are from the particular place in this case, right?
But wouldn't it allow, if a student just is sorted by last name, wouldn't they just see that last name thing and automatically think that the teacher wants the last name?
Okay.
Versus if you said by name, then they would put first and last. I don't know. Different children see things
But
differently.
normally we sort by last name. But so you would specify in that case. But in your case, as a teacher, what you should do then is specify what fields they should include. Because we know how students are. So as I said, normally we specify. So we say include first name, last name, gender, country, or address and country, and you start by last name or something like that. So it's very specific, right?
Hey, Desmond.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what the situation is in St. Lucia, but in Bermuda's a small place, so everybody's cousins. So you may have like 5 Smiths in one class, 3 Sumners in one class. So, you know, we need that first and last name thing. So.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so you have to put the first name. Oh, this is interesting. What is population like in Bermuda?
Well, 65, 70,000.
Okay. Wow.
So everybody knows everybody.
Okay. All right. All right, I'm just going to do one. I'm just going to go back, do one more query. I'm going to add both tables. All right, now I don't have anything specific, but I'm going to show you something. With fields that are of data type number, for example, age, there are some key things or operations you can do, right? And one of them, we're not able to do everything now, but one of them is you can use your greater than, your less than. You can even do addition where necessary, right? So you can do addition between 2 fields or so. Okay? 1 second, please. All right, apologies once again. All right, this is why I stay and I conduct my sessions on campus. All right, so what I'm saying is that when we have fields of data type number, we can do different operations. We can use our relational operators, greater than, less than, so we don't write it out. When we have our text, we can also select if for example, we want all the students with last names beginning with B. We can select the students using our operator, our asterisk, right? So we're going to use that. So let's say we have our first name and our last name, and we only want the persons. I'm looking among. Okay, let's work with first names. All the persons with first names beginning with S. That would make 2 persons, right? So we have S. We know that S is the letter that will start the first name, but it can be any letter that comes after that. So the asterisk is like a placeholder. So we use the asterisk right after the S. Okay? See right here? And we run. So you'll see Sashana and you'll see Sherian. Okay? All right, so let us, I'm not saving that. Let me change back. What if we want, so you notice automatically Access changes this and put like so and so. You don't have to type up that out, you just need to put the their criterion and then Access will fix it up. So let's say we want all the persons with last name ending with A. First name ending with A. Let's stick with first name. In this case, we put asterisk and we put the A. Right? And we run it. We get Desma, we get Sashana, we get none. Okay? So your asterisk is your placeholder, and the asterisk works with your text fields, your fields that are data type text, short text, long text, right? All right. What if we wanted all the persons with last name with the letter, I'm looking to see, with the letter N in the last name? What would we type? Desmond, help me here. We want those with the letter N in the last name. So the N doesn't have to start it, the N doesn't have to end the name, and we just want the letter N in the last name.
Well, I would think that we just write N.
Just N? You want to try that? Repeat that?
Let me see.
All right, so let's try and see.
Oh.
All right, so let's try again. What is missing from here?
But you see, because we don't want it to begin or end, so I cannot put the asterisk.
Why can't you put the asterisk?
Because I thought it only supposed to go when you wanted to begin the person's name.
So I didn't say it can't go there, but I said the N is not, we don't want it to only be at the end.
Oh, okay. So I guess we put asterisk and asterisk.
All right, now we're talking. So we put asterisk and asterisk. And we can view or we can run. Ta-da, we have Sumner, we have Long, we have Hanniford. See? Brilliant. All right, so. All right, okay, so I'm going to pause right there. We're okay with what we did today?
Yes, I am.
You're okay.
I just have to go to learn to do the tables because that's what I missed. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm going to go back this query that we were using also. I'm going to go back again to design view. All right, I'm going to put here, I'm going to put age. I'm going to put age. And we did younger than 30, so we did our less than, and we did, and similarly you could put older than, right? What if we want those who are between 30 and 36, between 30 and 36. How do you think we'll work that out?
Can we include two criteria? So you put greater than 20, whatever, and then less than 30, whatever.
What then? Repeat that.
Can you include two criteria?
Okay, yes, you can. You can. That's why you have your or. So what would you put?
Greater than 20. Oh, I forget the numbers you said.
30, greater than 30.
And less than 30.
And less than 36. All right. So greater than 30, older than 30, and you put in or less than 36. All right. So let's see what that brings up. Oh. All right. Why is this doing this slow? Did I put something wrong? Greater than 30, less than 30. All right. So, okay. All right. We're going to put it here on the same line. It's an and, not an or.
Right. That's
and, not an or.
Do you have to put a comma or no?
Right. So it has to be and. All right. So it's greater than 30 and less than 36. That was it. So we can use the word and there it is. Okay. And so this is one way. This is one way. Or you could actually type between 30. So we take out the sign between 30 and 36. All right. So no, this is not between 30. Why does it include it? It's interesting. It shouldn't include 30. Between 30. Okay, so something is wrong here.
Well, between 30 means it includes 30, no?
Should? Well, okay, so if I put 31 then.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. All right, so, all right, I'm going to do one last thing. We're going to create a report. We're just going to create a report. It's going to create a report. So we go to create, and we go to report. We go to report wizard. All right, so we're going to say, let's save this query, text query. All right, so we're going to create a report from table students. We want the first name. Let's work with ID first. First name, last name, and country. Okay? All right, let's proceed. So we're going to, let's work with those 5 fields. Okay? You should be able to add others. You can add other fields if you need, but we're just going to work with these 5 fields. Okay? So that's the first step. You add the fields you want in the report. Then we go next. Now this stage, it says, do you want to add any grouping level? The field that you choose to group must be a field that have commonalities among persons or data items, or sorry, records within the table. Let me rephrase that. It means that more than one record should have the same same answer or same information in that field. So in a case like this, we will put first name or last name to group, but we'll put something like country to group the person, right? Follow? Or something like gender. You must find more than one female or more than one male or something. You should be able to find, they would have that in common, right? So we choose country as for grouping, and we click on the little arrow. So now country will be used to group the record. Okay? All right, so we go next. So we have here, we want to sort. We can sort by ID in ascending order, or we can sort by last name in ascending order. Or if you want to leave it unsorted, but we normally sort something. Now, summary options. This is what you normally use to use. This is where you do calculations, specific calculations on your number field. Okay? So any field that is of data type number, you can do calculations here within the different sections. Okay? And sections, because we already added grouping, so what will happen here is based on each group, which in terms of is set out in terms of country. If you want a summary of the age or an average age or the highest and lowest age from the group, you can select it here. So we're just going to put an average here for the age. That is just for demonstration purposes, right? So we put average here and we click OK. And then if you want to put anything as last name, first name, you can leave it like that, right? This is up to you again, and if you get a question to do, it will be very specific. Okay? All right. We go next. And this is, I like this layout, the step layout, but I'm going to choose landscape. Okay? So I get more space on the width. And here it says adjust the field width so all fields fit on a page. You can select it or uncheck. But I normally leave it checked so that you see everything, depending on the number of fields you have selected to be in the report. Okay? And we go next. And I'm going to put the report here so it becomes student report. And we're going to preview the report. So when it's finished, you'll be able to preview the report. So we click finish, and this is what it looks like. So for Bermuda, we have tariff and the average ages. For Jamaica, we have 3 persons. This is the average age. And St. Lucia, 2 persons, and that's the average. And that is your report. Okay? Good. All right, any questions?
Not really from me.
None from you, Desma? Okay.
It was really straightforward. I guess it's just the practice for me to get the hang of it.
Okay, okay. All right, any other questions?
Good work. I like to see it.
Okay. All right. All right, so I'm going to stop. So I can upload this database so you can look back at it. I normally upload what we do in class so you can see what you can use that as a refresher. All right, so I'm going to stop here. save this. And I'm going to stop sharing here. Okay. All right. So we have what I need you to do. I have three database activities. I want you to do database activity 2. Database activity 2. Database activity 2, and you're going to upload it to the slot provided. Okay? So that is your database activity that you're going to complete. Database activity 2. Okay? So I'm hoping to see you. If you have not completed the Pascal yet, I need you to complete it and upload it. And you're going to complete the database activity 2 and upload it. Okay?
When does this one do?
This one, I think I had the 11 for both of them.
Okay.
So, yeah. I just need to know that when I'm ready to put all the pieces of grades together, that you would have submitted everything. That's the main thing.
Okay.
All right. Are there any questions, queries, issues? I know Ronald had a login problem. He sorted that out. Is there anybody else who had a problem?
We have to do database activity 2 and not 1.
No, not 1, 2.
And it's due when?
I have the 11 for both pieces. This one and the spreadsheet. It is next week Monday.
Next week Monday.
Yeah.
When is the SBA due?
That's a good question.
The SBA is a lot, you know. It's a lot.
It is quite a bit, yes.
I don't even know, but I've been started it as yet, so we're gonna see.
Okay, well, let's just need to start. I think once you come up with the scenario, and then you start to think about all the variables, all the things that could be involved in that particular scenario. Whether it's a construction company, whether it's airline industry, new airline, whatever it is.
Okay.
Yeah, just come up with a scenario, and then based on that, you can know what to ask the students. So look at the text syllabus, and you can use that as a guide as to what things they ask the students to create.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other issues?
What was the deadline for the SBA? I know I submitted, but was it not on the 5th?
I honestly can't tell you offhand. I will have to check the document to see what it says.
Well, I saw the 5th, but I know you changed some dates on. I know you changed the dates on the first one. But I wanted to know if you revised the date for SBA.
Second one. No, I haven't. As I said, I really haven't made much. I haven't changed anything really. What you do, you just work, and then you can tell me if you're having any issues. And if anybody's having a problem, I can put it out in the WhatsApp group, and I will let you know. If it's just work and try and complete it as soon as possible. That's the best thing I can say, because they will not change their deadline for when I'm to submit to mine. So I still have to. There's still a timeline I have to work with. I know though that we will. The 14th is the exam. Well, I don't know if that is going to change. I don't think so.
That's next week.
Yeah.
And it would be the same way as at our local center, right?
Yes.
Go buy your computer.
It's going to be online unless it's going to be online unless something changes.
Yeah, if it's online, I don't think it should be. It would be at the center because we all have computers at home.
Oh, well, the thing is, you can't do the exam at home. You have to be invigilated. So you have to, yeah. So I'm not sure where. I guess the centers would be equipped for the exam. Right, so you'd have to go to the center.
The exam is the 14th, you say?
Yes, 14.
And what are the topics?
Well, all the topics that we've covered so far and the spreadsheet. So it will be Pascal, it will be Pascal, database, and the spreadsheet.
What's the format of the exam?
Problem solving, of course. Flowchart, pseudocode. What? Repeat that?
The format. What's the format?
Format is a mixture of questions, short answer, multiple choice, matching, and some questions would require a longer answer, which they're not essay type, but they require a longer answer, maybe explanation, or for example, I ask you to write a snip of code for something. But what I'm going to do, I will make a little practice quiz available before that time. So I will put that out there this weekend.
That would be much appreciated.
Yes.
We won't have any problem if the practice exam is just like the real exam.
I know you won't, but when quality assurance comes to assess me, they might.
Perhaps.
Yeah, perhaps. All right. Are there any other issues or questions?
Ronald and I were working on the Pascal yesterday. We submitted it.
Okay.
But we know there are some wrong pieces because we couldn't figure out the last little bit.
Yeah.
So I guess we had short talk to you on the side, I suppose. I don't know.
Okay. All right. So I will I'm still giving. I haven't checked yet to see if everybody uploaded. I just wanted to give everybody a chance.
Okay.
So I could check now.
So when is the absolute last day that we can upload stuff? Would it be the 14th or the 11th?
The absolute last
The
day.
absolute last day.
Absolute last day would be when I'm submitting your mark sheet. But I don't want to go that far. I can give you until next week as the absolute last day.
Okay, and I can edit the submission, right? Like if necessary, before that date.
Would it be possible if we submit the SBA after the exam?
All right, I'm going to let me not answer that.
It's a lot, because we're gonna have to be studying for the exam.
But wait, wouldn't that affect people like me that have to work my butt off to get it done on the date required? And Tariq, I am assuming, because I don't think it's perfect what I did, but I
that's why I asked if I could edit the
on the date.
submission before the date.
That's what I'm saying. So,
All right. All right. Pause a second before you do any resubmission. First of all, let me address the SBA submission. I need to know. I'm not sure yet. I need to speak with Emmett online. With the MAT program coordinator to find out when they require demand from me. Okay, that's the first thing. So before I go and give any other extension, and then what I could do, I would love for you to submit your assignments first and then, because all of these assignments that you do help to prepare you for your exam. I'd love for you to submit your assignments first and then you focus on the exam. Okay. So what I would do is I would try and push back the exam. So that's what I would do. I wouldn't change anything else or tell you that I've changed date for submission or anything else. I would speak to the relevant person tomorrow and let you know the final date for the exam. So I can
You
adjust
could
the
take
date of
it
the
at the end of the
exam.
month. We'd appreciate it.
See that?
We wouldn't mind at the end of the month.
The end of the month. Do you know when your summer session 2 starts?
No, I'm not.
July 25th, if my memory serves me correct.
Thank you very much. So we can't have this exam at the end of the month.
But we have a little 1-2 weeks, you know, between the 13th and the 25th.
Yeah, we could take it like the 21st,
The 21st? All right, I'll look at that.
up in the 20s.
21st, or how about the Friday, the 22nd?
What time?
We could do it in the afternoon. I don't know. Is it possible we get some time in the morning? I prefer to do it in the morning.
Yeah, we could do it in the morning. Friday morning.
To do it in the morning?
Yeah. Maybe about 10 o'clock or so.
Okay. All right. So I will sort that out and I will let you know.
Okay.
So I WhatsApp, put it in the WhatsApp group and then you can respond. All right. So I think we've covered everything.
One question. I noticed that you had put the database and the spreadsheet stuff online. That's the extent of the content that we'll be covering for the course, right?
Yes.
All right.
So we looked at pseudocode, flowchart, steps in problem solving. We looked at Pascal programming. We looked at database management, and we're going to look at spreadsheets. We did not look at, as far as I know, they don't do much web page designing in the CSEC syllabus. And I think
I was just wondering about the word processing because I know the SBA has that component in it.
yes.
But I noticed in terms of our lessons, it was just the database, the spreadsheet.
Okay. The only thing I normally touch on is the mail merge. That's the only thing I normally touch on. So what I could do, because I think pretty much everybody, it's maybe poor judgment to overlook it, because I think most persons are comfortable with Word, but I could look at it in the last. I could do that. All right.
I know summer, before we leave, I know summer 2 begins on the 27th of this month. And if we push stuff back down, do we have enough time to relax before summer 2? That's what I'm thinking.
We're hoping to relax before summer 2. Okay.
Plus, it will be about carnival around that time for St. Lucia. So we're pushing things back.
Actually, that is carnival. Sorry, that is a holiday weekend we have on the. Oh yes.
Which day is that? Which day is the holiday?
It's okay with the holidays. I mean, school is school. We're going to university, so I have to make the arrangement. But I'm just saying, pushing it down to the last weeks in July, kind of.
Okay. All right. Maybe
going to summer
I'll try to be fair enough, and if I push it back, the only thing is that I wouldn't be able to. I'm trying to see because I have to be accessible during the exam, and there's a conference going on in that. Actually, next week and the following we have 2 presentations, seminar and conference. So it will be a little difficult, but nothing normally goes wrong in exams, right? So we'll sort out. We'll come up with an appropriate date where you can get a day or so to relax, right? All right. So
Yes, please, the relaxation. Yes. And if you can, Miss Berry, can you please tell Yui to send us our grades? Because I don't know about everybody else, but I've been working on nothing in terms of feedback. So, if you can just pass
Oh,
the
you haven't
message.
seen
If you're the only teacher we have interaction with, tell them, please, send us our grades and stuff.
Okay. All right. I will see. Do you have access to that?
Access to the VLE?
No, not just RVLE, staff. Once you're able to log
Yes,
in,
I'm
you
able to
have
see the grades and the reports, but no grade is there as yet.
Okay, no grade is there. Okay. All right.
Even for our last IT course, the networking one.
Okay. All right. I think that they have a meeting coming up next week. So give it a little time, and maybe at the end of that week or following week, you should be able to get it. Okay. All right. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure you guys will fill in Ronald. I'm assuming he's having a good time, or at least his wife should be having a good time. And we'll see him in the last session. Again, if you have any other issues, you can contact me. Please do the activity and upload it if you haven't uploaded and continue to work on the other assessment pieces as well. All right, so I know it is late, Harry, so you have a good night.
Do we meet back on Thursday?
And I will see you. It's Thursday coming. Is that a good time for everybody?
Well, it's my last day at school.
Oh,
And that's what
school.
we assess. Can we look at the results from the year continuation?
Okay, and it's
It's kind of tough for me.
Oh, so which day is a good day for you?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow? Oh.
Harry, tomorrow we have call. Tomorrow we have a Zoom session with Rainford.
You serious?
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. All right. So I guess we'll just have to work with Thursday.
I guess I could just be a little late as always.
Okay. All right. So we'll start 4:30. We'll start 4:30 on Thursday. 4:30 my time, 5:30 for you, and 6:30 for Tari.
How long is class on Thursday?
I wouldn't go beyond the 2 hours. We did 2 today.
Okay.
I wouldn't go beyond 2 hours.
Okay. All right. Cool.
All right. Have a good evening, everyone. I will see you on.
You as well.
All right. Thank you.
Good night.
Bye. Thursday. Night.
Adios.
Adios.